Hi, my name is Missy File, and the Reach United is my home. My testimony actually starts from about 10 years ago, and also when Pastor Tim was starting Dream Life in 2016. I actually got to meet him then because my daughter was in active addiction, and I took her down to meet Pastor Tim because I had heard so many good things about it. So we have been involved with Pastor Tim since 2016. I started going to church for my daughter because I thought if I went to church, then she would follow. And it didn't work, but God knew that I needed him as well. Just as much as my daughter did, I needed him. And that was bringing me to church. High on Hope is where I really started because I got to really meet a lot of wonderful people and see the help that the church, the Reach, was doing for everybody in the community. So God gave me the strength to actually tell my daughter that it was time and that she needed to find somewhere. So she did. She found a sober living in Charleston, and she went. And that was the first day of the best days of her life. She went. I still stayed connected to the Reach. I still stayed connected to Pastor Tim and Abby and the leaders and just all my friends in the church. And they gave me encouragement. They gave me strength. And she came back, and then she started going to the Reach. So we started going together, and she kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger in her faith, to the point her faith was a lot stronger than mine. And she is just doing wonderful, but it was all because Pastor Tim and Abby never gave up on her, and nobody in the church gave up on her, and they didn't give up on me either. And that's a big part of it, is fellowship and the people that you are connected with in your church, and such a wonderful group of people loving and caring on you. And that's what kept my daughter going, I know for a fact. And it kept me going. So then I was saved, and my daughter was saved and baptized at the church. So then we just started connecting on a deeper level. So my daughter is my best friend now, and she also sings on the worship team and has for over a year. And her whole being is she could not have done this without God and her church. And her church means so much to her, and it means a lot to me. That's where my testimony involves a lot of my daughter. Because we've been involved with the Reach Church and the Reach family for several years now. But we would have never gotten through the things that we needed to without our church. And but now that she's been sober for 18 months, for several months I've been going through a lot of fear. And that's what it is. It's just pure fear that the devil is leading me into when I let my guard down. Because I have my daughter back, I never want to lose that. And it's not that I'll ever lose her to drugs, ever. It's just the world itself, I have fear with. And that's why during the revival here at the Reach, I started Peace Warriors, because I pray for peace all the time. And Pastor Tim has prayed and prayed for me for peace to come, and it really has gotten better. But during that time, I just felt a lot of, I would come to church with a smile, but inside I was just hurting so bad. And I thought, well, if I'm going through this, I can't imagine the other people that go through this, and they don't say anything, and they're still just hurting inside, and they're broken, and they feel they can't go on any longer. So during revival, God told me he said, now's the time, because when my daughter was in active addiction, I really didn't have anybody to talk to. I was all alone for many, many years. And it broke me to where I didn't have a purpose. I didn't know that I could even have a purpose. And now I feel like I have one. And God told me to start. I needed to start the group that I've been working on. And I was initially going to do just parents of addicted children. And he said, no, you need to do it for all the broken, all the ones that have a voice, but they don't know how to use it. So I started Peace Warriors. And Pastor Tim was so grateful and so happy that, he just wants to help me grow the meetings and get people to come. And also it's a great time to meet the people in the church and get to know people in the church. But it's a beautiful setting, and you just can talk about anything. You can talk about your feelings, your pain, because you never know that person beside of you, what they're feeling. And you may say just one word that changes their whole outlook and brings God closer to them. And it is faith-based, of course. We pray in, we pray out, and we also share phone numbers to where you can get to know each other. And if you're having a bad day, you pick up the phone and you call, because that's what we're for. That's why we're here. And a hug and a smile goes a long way. And I'm just so grateful to the ministry that they have put my whole family comes. My son and his fiance, my granddaughter, her fiance, we're all involved in the church. And that's just a beautiful thing to see. And God answered my prayers. He absolutely answered my prayers. So now we're on the right track, and we have the right church, the right pastors, and all the members in the church. They're here to love on you and hug on you. And if you're having a bad day, you can pick up the phone and call somebody, because you're never alone. So I want to invite you to the Peace Warriors. You're more than welcome. It's on Mondays at 6 p.m. and we meet down here in the teen room. But I would love for you to come out and get loved on and hugged on, because we love you very much. Thank you.